Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back to our regular community. Twice a day, 7 days a week, I share my experience as a full-time crypto trader. My goal is to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. Everything I do for you is free. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin is currently trading at 34,631. Ethereum 2122, up around 7.57%. We can see the stable coins USDC, DAI, USDT, BUSD. They're red, indicating there is an outflow from stability from those stable coins into the crypto market. What you'll notice here too is Bitcoin is up about 0.5%, but Ethereum is up 7.5%. This is the BTC-alt gearing relationship playing out. It's really fascinating to watch. I mentioned as Bitcoin gains in health and repairs technical damage, the alts will increase more than the increase in Bitcoin. This is a normal thing. It is literally always alt season. Let's get a quick sentiment on the market. So ARK, ETF, that's positive. Kathy Wood from ARK is getting ready for an ETF. Positive. Ethereum could pass Bitcoin. Positive. Kathy again. Positive. Bears back off. Positive. Mine operator operating, giving an incentive. Positive. Bitcoin bumpy road. Now, what does this mean? Despite the recent dips. Hyper bullish. Okay, positive. That was a little bit harder to see that was positive. How much of Bitcoin's price action dive is Elon Musk doing? I think this is a little bit sort of more neutral, actually. Crypto newcomer backed by Coinbase soars 50%. That's pretty positive. Bitcoin's price climbs after Mexican billionaire urges people to. That is positive. So we've seen 10 stories, 9 are positive. I'd like to let you know that the scammers are coming in thick and fast, and they're pretending to be me. I find this really disappointing. These people are criminals, and if you call their numbers, they're going to try to take your money. Please be aware of scammers. I will never ask you for money. I don't have any paid courses. I don't have WhatsApp. I don't have Telegram. I don't have any private groups. I'm available on Twitter, and you can reach out to me directly in the comments. Please don't fall for this kind of stuff. I think these people are very horrible for doing what they're doing. Please be aware. This is legitimate. When you see that surrounding my name, that's legitimate, but all the other ones, they're not. Please be aware of scammers. I'd like to say welcome and thank you to our beautiful community. There are so many lovely comments. I'm getting a little bit busy, and in the past I used to be able to respond to everyone. In my heart, just know whenever you make a comment, I'm just so appreciative of everything that you say, all the questions that you ask, all the things that you point out. Thank you so much for being part of our community. It's really lovely to have everyone here. And for all the people that are welcoming new people, I think that's just beautiful. I'd like to share Rule 162 with you. These are my personal trading rules that I've built up over literally decades. Every rule has cost me money, and I don't want you to pay, so I'd like to share these things with you. When people start investing or trading, or even if they've been investing or trading quite a few years, it's very easy to see things as we are, not as they are. So this particular rule, see both, is really about seeing everything, the darkness and the light, the rain and the sunshine, are all across the board. You need to really see everything. A lot of people talk about the concept of the glass half full or glass half empty. When you're a trader or investor, it's best to not even think about the glass at all. There is no glass. What you look at is the rate of change of the water in the glass. And you let the facts speak to you. What does the data tell you? And that data has to come from a lot of different sources. Every episode we go through a mass of sources to try and figure out how this water, how the volume in the market is actually changing. Another thing, when we did the last episode, we talked about planting equals harvesting. If people are pessimistic, if they feel that everything is going to go wrong, everything is horrible, they'll end up hiding under the bed when it comes to investing. The cost of hiding under the bed in investing is very expensive. Optimists, on the other hand, can have a view of life which puts them out there and can put them in peril sometimes. It's really important to be balanced in everything we do. It's like literally see both means see the optimism, see the pessimism, move across the market with as much data as you can possibly muster to make an informed decision. It's about being as rational as possible. Rule 171 is zoom out. Sometimes when we get too close to the engine of crypto, we can lose our way. That's really important to zoom out and zoom in. Here we're going to zoom out. To zoom out, we look at the KS model, which is a Bitcoin technical trading model based on institutional price psychology. Right now, we can see we're in the psychological sunshine phase of the bull market. Every market is composed of 3 seasons after the halving. And I'll go into more detail about the halving. A lot of viewers, a lot of community members have asked me to do that. And of course, I will do anything you want, any topic that you would like. I would love to cover it for you. After the halving, we have psychological sunshine where the institutions bid the price up. Then the bidded price becomes too unsustainable and we have what's called a blow off top. That's called positive capitulation. That's almost like the rocket hitting the moon. After that happens, price cannot be sustained. It's gone too far up and the bear market sets in. That's psychological nighttime. The rocket returns to Earth to get rebuilt. It lands on capitulation, which is surrender. And then it's rebuilt and it takes off past the next halving into psychological sunshine and the cycle repeats. We're in psychological sunshine currently. I'd like to share rule 172 with you. This is zoom in. Zoom in is really important. We can't trade or invest on a macro landscape. We have to know how to time our entries and our exits and manage risk. That's why we zoom in. Let's have a look at Bitcoin's technical action. Episode 89, we were trading at 34,431. We're currently trading at 34,670. I would like to say, when you are an investor, please do not chase price. There's always the incentive to get into a trade, to just pull the trigger. As you get more and more seasoned, and as you understand that price moves in waves, you will let price come to you. That is a very, very good strategy. When price comes to you, it means that we're buying at support, we're buying at levels down, and we can place buy orders at levels even if we don't think that they will be filled. Why is that? Because we're starting to think like an institutional investor. It's really interesting. I've seen a couple of shows on YouTube where people are talking about institutions as though they were people. Institutional investors have 10 to 20 year time frames. They are not influenced by the news. They don't care. They've done the maths, they've run the numbers, they know what to expect. They're very, very different from an individual or retail investor. Currently, Bitcoin is trading at $34,720. It's maintained this upward support incredibly well. That structural support running along the 34,267 mark has held Bitcoin's price very, very nicely. There's a little bit of light resistance. That's really nothing to be concerned about. It's just potentially coinciding with the 35,000. You can see Bitcoin is really trying to get above that 35,000. The nice thing is that it's consolidated at above that really key support line of 34,267. That's showing a lot of strength. It's very helpful to know that some prices tend to be more psychologically significant than others. 35,000 is a psychological resistance line. You can see 35,000 was tried to be hit around the 23rd of June and backed off. It gathered momentum. Bitcoin's price gathered momentum and tried to attack it again. Didn't quite get there. Went down to support, tried to attack again, got above and sold off, and now is coming back. This is a key line in the sand for us. When Bitcoin gets above 35,000, I believe it's all on. Just to remind you, never FOMO into any trade. Don't buy at market. Be really cool. Let the price come to you. That's a really good attitude to have. You're not fast, you're not rushed. You know price is always moving in a wave. It's always going up and down. If you find price gets away from you, price will generally always come back. As we've seen recently, you don't need to rush things. Just take a longer term perspective. Let's turn to the longs and the shorts. The shorts relatively have flattened out. They're finding a degree of support in here, as well as the longs. We can see that both sides are equally balanced in a way from a relative percentage stance. Let's have a look at liquidations. 223.54 million of liquidations occurred and 49,225 traders were liquidated. This is a really light liquidation level. Anything around the 500 million mark would be appropriate. We see over the last hour nearly 77% of liquidations were short. Over the past 15 minutes, we've seen some pretty significant short liquidations in here that have actually pushed the price up. A quite helpful thing is to follow the inflow of Tether by the balance of Tether on exchanges. When the balance is very high, it means that there is a lot of money to be cycled into crypto. That is really, really helpful. But you would look at this graph and you would say, what does it mean? Yeah, I see a big spike here, and I don't really know what that means to Bitcoin and crypto. And you see a big spike here. So let's start to overlay these things. You saw that big spike and the other big spike. I've overlaid those spikes over psychological safety and liquidations, which is psychological safety is the fear and greed index, just explained from a slightly more positive perspective. We can see about 4.02 billion of Tether sitting on balances across exchanges here. Now, if we go back in time and see a roughly the same amount, 3.9 billion, what happened after that? That Tether was deployed into the market and pushed the price up. We always know price moves in waves. We never concern ourselves about missing a price move. Just move your support levels up. Don't chase price. Don't FOMO in. Always be cool. That's really the secret. From the fear and greed index, the amount of fear in the market is exactly the same as it was yesterday at 25. As we spoke about over here when the extreme balance spiked, maybe I'll just go back to Glassnode that you can see this big spike here, this big spike here. I've just overlaid it so you can see things more clearly. That drove the price up. We've got a big spike here. We would anticipate from a probabilistic stance that the price will rally. I'd like to reach out and say thank you to our community. There's so many of these beautiful comments that I would like to place here. I think Steve has a very, very nice thing. He's teaching, he and his wife are teaching their 3 children about investing in crypto. What an amazing family. It's wonderful to think that family bonds can be tightened. Things can become better just by having a shared interest. I really like what Steve O'Matt said. These videos are helping him to sleep well at night. Crypto is so volatile. It is a nightmare. And many YouTubers out there are saying things that terrify people. And I'm glad I can just bring a little bit of perspective in. Milo, thank you for joining our community. 18 years of age, fantastic, really nice. Thank you also to Triggerman, who's saying that he's trying to help his family financially. That's really beautiful. That is the point of our community and this channel. We're all here for each other. As part of our process, we go through and look at the top 7. So the top 7 are Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, Binance Coin, Cardano, DOGE, and XRP. Let's have a look at the top 24-hour gainers. Kasama, I told you it was coming. I said when it rocks, it's going to rock. Here we go. We're on the way. Compound, BSV, ZIL, Elron, Aave, and Cell. Let's go the other way and look at the 24-hour % losses. Quant, Cello, AMP, and basically stable coins except for Rev. Let's have a look at the 7-day % gainers. Cello, Comp, BitTorrent, Doge, BSV, XDC, and Internet Computer. Let's go the other way. Largest losses, Rev, AMP, NEAR, T-Fuel, MDX, FTM, and AVAX. Let's go through the top 7. Just starting quickly with Bitcoin, what we're looking at is Bitcoin's fingerprint. We know this M, we know this kind of W, and it's almost like it's an elongated W of some sort. I don't know exactly what you would call that. It's a bit hard to describe. It's an up and down consolidation. Before we look at the alts, we always look at crypto total market cap. Why is that? Because we're wanting to see if the alts are outperforming Bitcoin as a mass. We don't need to look at dominance and things like that. I found that to be a very misleading indicator. Truthfully, it's always alt season. You don't have to wait for anything. It's always here. If we have a look at Bitcoin's fingerprint, we can see the M, we can see the W, but look at this difference. This is really fascinating. I'll just go back to Bitcoin and then back. You notice that Bitcoin is flat. It's almost like a horizontal. And then we go and it's pointing up. What does that tell you? It's really good for you to ask questions of yourself. What does that mean? It means that the alts are repairing relative to Bitcoin. Now, what does that mean? It means that the stable currency flows out of USDT, USDC, BUSD, and DAI are going into the alts at a faster rate than they're going into Bitcoin. Now, that should be playing out on the charts. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum, currently trading at 2125, is above its support at 2100 and approaching resistance at 2178. Next real resistance is up around the 2304 mark. You can see just how powerful Ethereum is becoming. You can see that this takeoff is very strong, which we can see in Ethereum's current price. Let's go further forward. Binance Coin. Binance Coin is currently trading at 297.60. It's above its structural support at 291.52. It's gathering momentum. BNB has had a little bit of negative news of late, so I'm not surprised that this is a bit compressed, but there is still a lot of support. Be aware of the structural resistance coming in at around 358. The next level of support for BNB is 285 and 278. The next level of resistances above are 309 and 318. Let's have a look at ADA. Cardano is currently trading at 133.77 realistically at support right now. There's a support below it at 128.48 and two structural supports below at 124.11 and 121.27. Overall, ADA is being supported well by price. It doesn't have the same flow and structure as what Ethereum has. Ethereum is pointing upwards. ADA is more flat, more following the Bitcoin fingerprint, which we know and understand. That's quite normal. But it's interesting that we've seen a big bump in Bitcoin's price. Now, the number 2, Ethereum, is being bumped. That is why we take the top 7. It's really important to get context. ADA has resistance at 140 and psychologically at the 150 mark. Let's have a look at Dogecoin. We remember in past episodes that Doge was approaching that structural resistance, which is a heavy structural resistance. Many community members have reached out and asked if I can cover off how I draw structural resistance and support as well as trend lines. I'm very, very happy to do that. I love sharing that information with you. Doge is currently trading at 25,690. It has support at 24,892. Its structural resistance is almost in play at the moment. We can expect when Doge, because it's behaving very explosively at the moment, when it gets above that structural resistance, I think Doge is going to rock. It's going to have a party. So the next level of structural resistance is a long way away. Next level of resistance is 27,989, and around, we could say around the 30-cent mark would be an appropriate level too. Always remember to layer into your trades. Don't FOMO. Let price come to you. Even if you miss a move, it's just not meant to be. As an investor and a trader, it's really, really good to have that mindset. If it's meant to be, you'll get it. If it's not, forget it. It's just really not important. That's the psychology that you want to have. Let's have a look at XRP. XRP is currently trading at 65.29. It's over structural support at 63.17. And it has a lot of structural support below that as well. A key to understand, structural resistance is coming into play around the 72-cent mark. We know that as soon as something hits a structural resistance, it tends to back off, probabilistically. However, if the whole market rallies, it will slice through that structural resistance. But on the basis of probabilities, you would give it about an 80% chance that it will wobble. Let's have a look at DOT. Polkadot is currently trading at 16,093. It's just under a level of resistance at 16,441. The next one is light at 17,297, and it's also light at 18,321, light resistance. Really, the $20 mark is the next real level of psychological resistance. So if DOT takes out the 19,569 resistance and turns that to support, that's what we would really be looking at. It's behaving quite well. Of course, we always think that things can go either way, so we look at support as well. DOT has support at 15,357 and 14,748. Always remember, don't FOMO, take your time. Buy at support or in between support, because price is always moving in a wave. Part of my personal strategy is looking into the Binance derivatives, just trying to check underneath the hood or into the crypto engine. 24-hour trading volume is around 60 billion and 24-hour open interest is 5.7 billion. We can see light percentage contract price changes in the past 24 hours in Bitcoin. We can see that they're very healthy in Ethereum. Makes sense. When Bitcoin recovers, Ethereum takes up the mantle next. Very normal. We go through these prices to try and find double-digit gainers. That means they're attracting interest and the price is positive in terms of pressure. ARVE at 16% looks quite good. Going through, comp looks good. KSM, I mentioned that KSM would party at some stage. These beaten down good coins always rebound. It's just their nature. NEO, ZEC, Atom, BTT, ZIL. I've had quite a few different requests for different coins. I really honor those requests. I'm trying to put together a series to go through all of the alts as best I can. It's a really good idea to keep your eye on this. The link is in the description. I put a lot of interesting links in there for you to help you out. A number of people have asked me what trading platform I use, what software I use. I'm always very happy to share any information with you. We can see the market is actually repairing itself quite well. Just go down to the very bottom there, futures. It's looking pretty good overall. It's healthy. Everything I do for you is free. All of this analysis is free. I want you to be a financial blessings to yourself and those that you love. And I find this is a wonderful way to reach out and just share experience and knowledge and a few insights that I've gathered across the years. Please say hi and let me know where you're viewing from and if you have any questions. Our community is really beautiful, filled with wonderful people who are very supportive and will reach out and help you as well. If you would like twice daily updates, 7 days a week on price movements in the crypto market, please subscribe to YouTube and follow me on Twitter. I'm always really happy to chat with anyone, so you can direct message me anytime. Crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.